In fact, most of them do not know.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody, and welcome back to Rosie's Corner. So we previously had posted a video on the contradictions in the Quran, and today we are going to do a continuation of that video. So the first contradiction that we're going to go over is, what did Allah create first? Surah 2 verse 29 states, He is the one who created everything in the earth for you. Then He turns towards the heaven, forming it into 7 heavens. He has perfect knowledge of all things. Now, this passage states the sequence of events in which God created the earth first, and then He created the heavens. Surah 79 verse 27 to 31 states, which is harder to create, you or the sky? He built it, raising it high and forming it flawlessly. He dimmed its nights and brought forth its daylight. As for the earth, He spread it out as well, bringing forth its water and pastures. Now, this entire passage comes as a warning to the disbelievers who questioned Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, about them resurrecting after death to meet their Creator. Now, God addresses the disbelievers to think about how easy creating a human and raising them after death is compared to creating the heavens, of which they can't even see nor imagine how magnificent and infinite it is. This verse is simply serving as a challenge and a warning to the disbelievers who question the power of God. The whole point of this passage is to warn the disbelievers about rejecting the idea of their resurrection by bringing up different examples of His creation. First, He presents an example that is so magnificent, infinite, and something that their imagination can't even take nor see. Then He presents another example of something more tangible, smaller in comparison to the heavens, that they can better understand, touch, and see. This passage speaks nothing of the sequence of creation, and it wasn't the message that is being portrayed. This passage just serves as a challenge to those who do not believe. Now, the next contradiction is, does Allah change His words? Yes? No? What does the Quran say? Surah 10 verse 64 states, For them is good news in this worldly life and the hereafter. There is no change in the promise of Allah. That is truly the ultimate triumph. Now, this verse speaks about them, but who is them? It refers to those who are faithful to God, who believe in Him and His oneness, and He promises them goodness in both the world and paradise. And He makes this promise to those who are faithful to Him. Now, Surah 2 verse 106 says, If we ever abrogate a verse or cause it to be forgotten, we replace it with a better or similar one. Do you not know that Allah is most capable of everything? Now, the word abrogate means to abolish. This verse states that if God is to abolish a rule, He would replace it with a similar one or a better one. So in context, abrogating a rule was done as a mercy to the people and always to benefit them. For example, prior to the revelation of Islam in Mecca, the pagan Arabs used to consume alcohol excessively. And during the 23 years of the revelation of the Quran, God prohibited alcohol slowly and in 3 different progressive stages until He forbade it completely. And something super interesting is that at the end, the companions of the Prophet told him, had God told us to stop alcohol on day 1, nobody would have ever accepted Islam. SubhanAllah. The act of abrogation occurs as a mercy by the All-Wise, knowing how humans are and what they can tolerate at the time period under specific circumstances. But something that I do want to point out is that abrogation never occurs with the core and fundamental beliefs or the creed of Islam. Surah 16 verse 101 states, When we replace a verse with another, and Allah knows best what He reveals, they say, You, Muhammad, are just a fabricator. In fact, most of them do not know. Now, this is in agreement with Surah 2 verse 106. So if we notice, Surah 10 verse 64 speaks about the promise of paradise for the faithful. It has nothing to do with abrogating rules like what this verse speaks of. And something quick that I do want to point out, Christianity and the Bible do speak about abrogation as well. Just letting y'all know. The next contradiction that we will discuss is, how long does it take to wean? Surah 31 verse 14 states, "And we have commanded people to honor their parents. Their mothers bore them through hardship upon hardship, and their weaning takes 2 years. So be grateful to me and your parents. To me is the final return." So this verse is strictly speaking of weaning on its own. This means nursing the baby. Surah 46 verse 15 states, "We have commanded people to honor their parents. Their mothers bore them in hardship and delivered them in hardship. Their period of bearing and weaning is 30 months." Now, this verse is speaking of the gestational age and the weaning, okay? This means the amount of months that the mother carries the baby and the amount of months to nurse the baby. So we know that the nursing period for a child is 24 months. And the other 6 months is considered the gestational age. But wait, Rosie, pregnancy lasts 9 months. The Quran is wrong. Well, this just goes to prove the amazing insight that the Quran has on things unknown at the time of its revelation. 6 months is considered the least amount of time for a pregnancy to be considered viable. So basically, in other words, usually a baby needs to reach those 6 months in order to survive. Now, of course, there have been stories of extremely premature babies surviving, but those chances are like extremely slim. And I mean, subhanAllah, of course. You know, I've noticed that people will try to bring up the smallest thing to try to discredit Islam or try to discredit the Quran. But there is no discrediting the truth. There is no denying the truth. But at the end of the day, Allah guides who He wills. And all we can do is read, read, read. And you never know what you're going to find. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell button so you guys are notified when we post. And if you guys want to join Rosie's Corners Insiders, hit that join button down below. And we will see you in our next video. And may Allah always be in your corner. Bye.